Welcome to another season of the PGTK Podcast. My name is Emmanuel, and as you can hear from this episode right now, this is an audio-only episode, and I've made a very heavy decision of moving all the Spotify episodes to audio only, and it wasn't an easy decision to come to, but separating the mediums in the meantime. However, the YouTube channel will have the episodes on video for you guys to listen to. Follow both channels and follow iHeartRadio as well, just so that you can have so many choices on listening to this podcast. And some ground rules to fix throughout this whole season for this podcast prior leading up to it. It's just an abbreviation, and the podcast is called the Project Get to Know Podcast. And I'll say it again. It is the Project Get to Know Podcast. And the name of it, we'll talk about that some other time, but an abbreviation is one thing, but to have the whole name is going to be a whole different thing altogether. And this season is going to be such a fun one, recording these last month. And the first person to premiere on this episode is Travis Cudi. And recording this last January, that marked his entire year being a professional wrestler here in the state of Texas. And we talk about what his journey is leading up to this year, and having the AAPW Social Media Championship, and working past Austin to go to Laredo to inspire AD at the time, and Borracho Pro. And we talk about the highs and lows on what his career is leading up to it, and what he's looking forward to in this year of 2025. And you can follow Travis Cudi on all socials on the show notes. And you can follow this podcast on the same show notes as well. And without further ado, here is our interview with Travis Cudi. All right, we're in a new season of the PGTK Podcast. We have someone, I spoke to you a lot, even when I hang out at APW, and I got to know a lot about what you're doing. And you have like the most unique name. You have like two rappers' names. We have Travis Cudi here on the premiere of this season of the podcast. How are you?
I'm great. Like I feel like you choose a great person to like be the premiere of the new season. You know what I mean? Like start of the year, new season, new year, new me, but it's the same us. But
yeah, it's wild because today, at the time we're recording, it's on January 13th, and this marks your year. And you posted something earlier today about how your wrestling journey is within that year. And what's fascinating too is you went to APW from a different city. Yes. And what was the choice? Houston was where you were at originally. You could have went to New Texas, could have went to Reality, you could have went to Texas All-Star. What was the main decision that made you want to choose APW over everything?
For me, honestly, like it wasn't even necessarily just choosing schools. It was more so like I was just moving to Austin in general. Like I had like a really good, and then I wanted to start wrestling at the same time. So for me, it was just like, where am I going to go in Austin? And I found APW and I fell in love with it. So that's how I really ended up at APW.
Because like what's interesting too, because like APW is a very much an old school wrestling program, and how they do things here is pretty much a legacy of a lot of wrestling history that's been done since George de la Isla, RIP, now with Pops handling everything that the school has. What was so special about training before you even got to your debut? Like what was that like being in the school in the first place?
APW really has like a family environment in the sense that like the people that you train with, you see them so often, and you're in the same space so much that it really like they become your family, and they treat you like it. It's a brotherhood and a sisterhood in many ways. So I just really liked that it was a place that everybody could be themselves, and everybody could get together and put the work in, and you know what I mean? Like it wasn't it's not like a toxic environment that you can hear from in training gyms of a lot of places. Like I've been to an MMA gym with a toxic environment. You know what I mean? So
right.
It could be like that anywhere, and it's nothing like that at APW.
Because what was the one thing, what was the advice that you always got, whether it's from Pops, from Law, from Warsaw, all the guys who are either graduated or the ones that you have your peers on? Like, what was the most constant vibe coming into APW?
I'm not gonna lie to you, like dead serious to this day, from the day I started to this day, every day after training, Lawrence would ask me, "You have fun?" But yeah, I had fun. He was like, "Good, keep coming." Yeah, keep having fun, keep learning, bro. And it's a very encouraging environment. You know what I mean? And that's something that I love about it.
And of course, you posted what was your debut match, and it's with Ethan Hunter too. That one was a very special.
My debut match
opponent.
was myself and Jay Sky versus Ethan Hunter and Mokele. It was a match.
Okay.
It was.
That was NATO. That's right. That was NATO.
Yeah,
that's right. And with the tag dynamic, because of course, like everyone can start out as a singles wrestler, but working with Jay Sky, working as a tag team, facing NATO with Mo and with Ethan, how did you guys really get to click? What you've learned throughout those months leading up to that debut?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Jay Sky is one of like my best friends in the world, bro. Like that's someone that really like was there and like helped me in any way that he could, like really from like day one. Whether it's like, cause he was already working in places, you know, he was already on the show. He was already I think he was America's champ when I came in, when I first started training. He was already at Borrachos and Inspires and like, you know what I mean? Making his way literally like from day one. Like he's one of those people that was just like, hey man, like I'll be the person that stays late and helps you out, bro. Like, and I've always appreciated that. So that, I feel like that tag dynamic really came from that.
How is that creative? How is that done for you creatively, working with someone like a Jay Sky who's had his time in the ring and knowing that, hey, you know, like we have Travis Cudi who's still learning the ropes. Like, what was so special working with someone like that over the months leading up to it?
You want me to be completely honest with you? Like, there was a point in time where it was challenging for me. And I think that it was the point in time where Sky got injured was a challenging point in time for me. Not even because like he was gone. Obviously you want to be around your friends and you know what I mean? Like that was not cool. But you get to a certain point where you start to get that comparison, and there's a lot of similarities between me and Sky. So it challenged me to like create a lane for myself to where we're not viewed so similarly. And I feel like I hope people see me as in my own lane. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like creatively there was a point where it was like challenging for me in a very good way. And I think that like being able to see what you look like. Like I knew what I looked like, right? Like I knew first matches with Sky, you know what I mean? Like his second match, I forgot what I did. I did like 4 of his moves. It's like, all right, like I know what I look like, right? So we're gonna have to figure this out. We gotta get there.
Because it's interesting, because I think we've had this conversation sometimes when we're hanging out, where some matches you're trying to figure out what's next. What am I supposed to do? Okay, how am I going to make this match click? How did you overcome just learning the patterns and rhythms of how a match should be, even if it's past your debut? Like how did you learn to understand what the cadence or the rhythm is during a match during that time?
I felt like I really started to watch my peers. I was at a show one time, and I was backstage at a show one time, and someone came up to me. Someone from APW. It wasn't even an APW show, but someone came up to me, and they were like, "You're not watching the show? Go watch your effing competition, bro. Like, go." Right? But it made me like I started to like really take that like a lot more serious and realize like, okay, like how do I get these people to react to me if they react to that? Or why didn't they react to that? And really trying to like, because it's one thing to watch it on TV, right? But being in the moment, like I feel I could watch some shit in real life and be like, okay, I would have reacted to, you know what I'm saying? Or, oh, I do this move and that could have happened there. Really, it's it's so weird because stuff like that, anything creative is very hard to teach in wrestling, bro. So
right.
It's been a process, and it's something I'm still working on to this day.
And how do you think you can improve on that leading up to the year that you're doing a lot of your stuff in your wrestling journey?
Yeah. I think that what I try to do now is I try to, like, someone gave me like advice of like thinking beyond a move, right? I asked them, I was like, "What do you think about my match?" And they were like, you should call more than just the moves in your head. This happens and then I feel like this, or this happens and then I'm thinking about, like, in the moment I'm thinking about this, or in the moment I'm mad about this, and like really try to, call more than just the move. So that's something that I'm gonna put a big focus on in 25.
Because you're seeing like the reaction to how you're doing it and how the audience reacts. Because oftentimes, if the move happens and the audience is like, "What?" You just got to keep rolling. You can't make that same mistake again. You got to keep moving to the next spot if you need to. And one championship that, of course, you were the social media champion at that time. Yeah. From that debut, what were some of those matches that really solidified you as being one of the champs and one of the faces over at EPW?
Oh, that's a good one, because I'm not gonna lie. So when it comes to the social media championship, right, I feel like your first championship is always going to hold a special place in your heart. But I really feel like I started to, like, obviously I want to be better match 10 than match 5. But I feel like that championship run is really where I started, like, getting my feet on the ground. Because, like, it's really interesting, but I can't even think of too many matches before
like,
the
what
championship.
Moments stood out to you? That's another thing we can do that.
Yeah, I think I had a match with Danny Ryan. I really liked that. That was one of my first title defenses. It might have been my first. I learned a lot from that match. I had another match with the triple threat match. It was with Danny Ryan and Aaron White. I'm pretty sure Aaron White is a tag team champion at APW now.
Right.
And that was another one. And it just taught me to have a different role in the match. Because, like, you're wrestling these guys and you're the new young guy, and you're like, okay, like, listen. But I think in that triple threat match, I was really put in a position by who would have been the vet in that match to be like, no, like, what do you want to, like, what you got, which was really important for me. Ironically, right, I had another triple threat match with Danny Ryan and Shimbashi. That one was just a lot of fun. I really did enjoy. I had a match with Ref Pico. I really, really, really enjoyed that match. That one was fun.
Yes, I love that.
It was his first match. It was just a lot of fun. Because he's like 3 feet tall and crowd loves him, That was sick. That was a lot of fun. I really liked that social media title run a lot.
Because, of course, like with every champion, were the expectations high? Because now that you have this belt around your waist, how has pressure been building you not only as a champion, but also becoming the wrestler that you wanted to be?
I feel that there's a lot of moments and a lot of times where there's like a lot of pressure on me. And I feel like that's just the moments, like, you can self-doubt yourself. Like, you can, be a deadbeat down. You can do all that, right? But when there's pressure, I feel like that's really, if there's ever a time to be confident in yourself, right? And that's really just the moments where you gotta man up and you gotta be confident in yourself, because, like, what you gonna do about it, right? Like, there's pressure on you.
Yeah.
Whenever there's pressure, people got opinions before anything happens. So now I'm in a position like, what am I going to do? And I was like, I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. I feel like there was pressure going into the Little Evil match. I felt like there was pressure going into my match with Brick Savage and Dimitri at Inspire. I felt like there was pressure going into that Danny Ryan match, the first one that I had with him. But at the same time, it's like, all right, bro, it's time to show up. Like, I got to go out there, right? Like, you can't not go out there.
You can't just sit there and you're like, I'm just going to go over here.
You got to go out there. That's just my mindset.
Yeah, and, like, when did you start to say, all this pressure's behind you and, like, all of these expectations, how did that really solidify you becoming part of this wrestling journey now? And it's like, okay, I have so much riding on me, but you mentioned it. I got to go through that. When did that pressure become a better wrestler as you're doing each of these title defenses with the social media championship?
Ooh, I'd have to look at a list on my phone of the matches, right? But honestly, I don't even think it was the title. I genuinely think it was match number 1. I think that because it happened, I knew. Funny story. I got my debut about 7 days before it happened, right?
Wow. Okay,
Like, I don't know. Look, I hate to do this to him. That's my brother. Like, and I'm not telling you. Listen, Marcelo is my real life brother. Like, I mean this genuinely. When I tell you okay, I walked in that building, APW day one, and it maybe 20 or 30 minutes later, Marcelo was right there on some like, here's how you navigate. Here's how you do it. I genuinely love Marcelo to the bottom of my heart, bro. So I don't hate to say this, but I'm not sure if everybody's seen Botchamania, right? But
wait. Okay, good. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That happened, and I mean, maybe 20 or 30 minutes after the show, two people come running out of Pops' office. They're calling me, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? And they're like, next week. And I'm like, oh damn, like I don't even got nothing, bro. Like I don't even have, I don't even got gear, bro. I got knee pads, dog. Like what? You know what I'm saying? But it was cool, dude. I went out there. I think my first match, the only match I ever wore boots in, I wore Pop's boots.
Okay.
It was sick. It was a lot of fun.
And of course, like you've had so many people that you've worked with, and a lot of people that you had are the veterans here. And the one thing that kind of stood out to me first was with T-Ray, with Proving Ground.
Oh yeah.
And that must have been a special moment within your year of wrestling to have someone who's been in the game for how many years in his career. What was it like picking his brain on how to work things and forming Proving Ground during your run at Inspire?
You know, it was so interesting because when T-Ray retired before I ever had my first match. Yeah, right? Before I ever had my first match. So he was like a fucking myth to me. Like he's not even, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's not like how I talk about my relationship with Jay Sky, because that was someone that was there every day when I was training. He was, you know what I mean? He was helping me out. T-Ray was retired, bro. So he's like, and like, this is like he's a retired legend in my mind. So for him to come back, and then I get Improving Grounds. It meant a lot to me. You know what I mean? And it meant a lot to me. And that was another moment where I felt like, all right, the pressure's on, but you can't not go out there because you got T-Ray right next to you. You know what I'm saying? In front of all these people, got to go out there.
What was the advice that you got from him as you're starting to have this tag team? It's funny how like we're going from one tag team to another.
Oh yeah.
And you have a mentor coming along the way. Exactly. And like, what was the advice that you got from him as you're starting to prepare for your matches with him and Inspire, and leading up to the street fight from last month?
Oh yeah.
And like, what was the advice that he gave you? I'm sure he's going to give you plenty of wisdom, but which ones stood out to you as you started working with him?
I think my relationship with T-Ray is a little interesting because it's never like, you expect people, well, not expect, but like you would think someone would like pull you to the side, hey youngin, let me holler at you, youngin, let me see what, let me tell you something. But it's like, bro, like I really like, bro, I know what time it is just by the energy. And the energy that I've got from T-Ray was always like, let's go kill this shit, bro. Like, you know what time it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, it was really a confidence booster for me. And I feel like that energy that he's always given me, whether it's backstage or whether we're out there, like, fucking time, I'm just finna bust some heads. Like, you know what I'm saying? But always listening, always learning, always training, giving me advice on how to navigate and how to handle myself in this business. Being that guy that doesn't mind helping out in any area that he can. He's absolutely giving me some gems. So like mainly if you're talking about like backstage, like we ready to go, like that's what time it is. We ready to go. Like that's what it's always been.
And to move out of APW, was Inspire your first foray outside of the walls of APW, or were there any other ones that you did?
The first place that I went outside of APW was Laredo Wrestling Alliance. I actually really like it over there. I really like what they have going on. I like their set. Like, it's just a cool place. It's a cool place to be. I've never had a bad time over there. And I'll be forever grateful for them. They were the first place that ever gave me an opportunity outside of APW.
because I'm curious, because like going into Austin, because Inspire, we'll put Borracho later on down the line, but to go away from your home territory and going into Laredo, like what was the vibe like going somewhere that I wouldn't say you're not comfortable with, but something that you're trying to get your feet wet in your wrestling journey?
It's crazy because I wasn't comfortable when I was like heading down there, and then you see these people that you see a Lawrence Botello, you see a Zeke Rose, and you kind of feel like, okay, I got some of my people down here, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be all right. And then honestly, just like the advice that we were talking about earlier, like just taking that advice of like, okay, I know how to handle myself. You know, how can I help? What can I do? Let me chill. Let me do my job. You know what I mean? I got my people over here. I'm not a complete stranger, right? It's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen inevitably, but like, I'm not a complete stranger. So it was really cool. Lieutenant Dan, super cool dude. Like always like welcoming, treat you like family. So I love going down there, man.
And it's kind of nice seeing like going out into Inspire, and then now with Borracho, we're going to go back to mentors again. You were part of, like Team Dan and Team Dimitri, and the environment is still familiar, but being at the yard, and I think we talked about this on the little mini show that I did back last year.
Yeah,
wrestling in San Antonio, where there is some familiarity, but there's a bit of newness coming into San Antonio.
Oh yeah.
Well, how did Dimitri treat you working with Houston and with Marcelo and people you've worked with, and facing with Lou and Dan and Ethan and Mo? Like, what was that like working over at Borracho?
Dude, I love Dimitri, bro, with all my heart, bro. I really do. Anytime you about to step in the ring with Luke Cameron or Mokele or Ethan Hunter, you know what I mean? Dan the Man is Dan the Man, you know what I mean?
He's his own space, yeah.
You know, type shit. But Dimitri's a hard hitter as well. So he really gives you that confidence to go out there and do your own thing. Like, really let your nuts hang, bro. Like, do your thing. Like, that's what you're here for.
That's cool.
Like, for real. And like, Dimitri's always like, I mean, bro, anytime I've ever like needed advice on anything or like how to navigate, or like I just wanted to know what wrestling to watch, you know what I mean? Like Dimitri is genuinely one of the coolest people in the world, like genuinely.
They'll probably give you like all Japan clips, like through the New Japan.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else. That's it. That's all there is. It's just all Japan, bro.
Oh my goodness. So, because you've had some name changes, because you started off as the Human Highlight Reel. Where did that come from?
Reel.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I just thought it sounded cool. I was trying to figure something out because we were kind of going through the thing of like, there needs to be something to it, right? There needs to be something to you. Like you gotta have something, which I mean, I don't know. I'm neither here nor there on that, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'll just do the highlight reel, right? Because it was like, it's low key very generic, but like it's something that anybody, like you could say it about yourself. It was some easy shit, and I was like, I'll do that and see if I can make it work. Which, whatever.
Did you like get like other, whether it's a sport reel or it just kind of came out of the blue?
It just kind of came. Reel? Yeah, it just kind of came. Yeah, that was like, I mean, when I tell you, it was just some bullshit, bro. Like it just kind of came. It just kind of happened.
And how did that evolve to what you have now with the Lone Star Killer? Of course, this podcast is mainly in Texas. I mean, that's probably part of where the name came from. But have the entirety with the Lone Star Killer, what inspiration you pulled from getting that new name with the Lone Star Killer?
So we talk about, it was two things, right? We talk about me having 989 matches with Danny Orion, and Danny Orion was going by the Star Boy. So I cut a promo that never came out, and I'm looking at the APW production team because it was a pretty good promo, and I said that I was a Star Killer, which is kind of like a reference. There's like a Star Wars game where I think there's a character's name is Star Killer.
Yeah,
and then I cut another promo that didn't come out because I just didn't like it, and I was just talking about how I'm gonna beat everybody in Texas, right? Because at that point I was going into the match with Little Evil. And
okay, I see what you mean.
Mind you, at the time I'm gonna line up what was going on. I just double pinned Danny Ryan and Shimbaji, who were both Inspired champions at the time, right?
Right.
Lil Evil was the Inspire Pro champion at the time, right? So I'm like, I'm about to knock out the whole roster. I'm beating everybody in Texas, right? And then that's where the Lone Star Killer came from, because you know what I mean? I watched that promo back, and then I watched the other promo, and I was like, oh shit, that's pretty fucking cool, dude. Oh my God. That's pretty sick.
How'd the audience take it with the new name?
So I think it took them a little while to get used to it at APW. Mm-hmm. And then you go somewhere like Inspire, and they were chanting it day one, which was really cool for me.
Wow.
And I was like, God, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, thank God, bro. Oh my God. But that was really cool. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I knew the highlight reel was, like, in my opinion, it was alright, you know what I mean? And I knew it was alright. It had
its course. It ran its course.
It had its time. Its contract expired. It was on a 7-day. We're not renewing. And then the Lone Star Killer happened. I was like, I actually like this. This one's hard. I actually like this.
Because, like, it's kind of nice when I heard it. I think when you got called for the first time at Inspire, I was like, wow, okay, that name's gonna be stuck for a while. Because, like,
yeah, man,
the amount of reaction from the fans was just really nice. I was recording stuff, and I was like, wow, okay, Lone Star Killer, okay, that's gonna be there for a while for sure.
Oh yeah, we're gonna. I'm gonna keep adding on. Shout out to Luke Cameron. Shout out to Killer Cash, bro. One day my intro is gonna be like 5 minutes long. One day, bro. We're gonna just keep going and keep rolling, bro. Real life.
That I would have been like, well, okay, I have to put a transcript if I do ring intros. I'm like, crap, I have to write everything.
Oh yeah. Some people be handing you a script, dog.
Exactly. So it's interesting because you besides during your wrestling, like, you've done some live streaming on occasion.
Yeah.
And how has, like, social media, not just like the usual social media platforms, but to have like Twitch, where you're having a closer connection to an audience. How has that improved, not only as a wrestler, but how you're doing things outside the ring?
I'm going to be honest. I think the only way that it's improved me as a wrestler, because they're so different. Okay. It's definitely improved me as a wrestler in the sense that I can just keep talking, bro. How much time you need, bro? I can just go. Because that's all the streaming is, bro. I'm going to just keep talking to keep y'all entertained for however long a time, right? Another thing was, it did make me very, very good at listening to the crowd. I'm very almost, dare I say, self-conscious about, like, feeling when the crowd is dying down, because if they go deep enough, they may or may not be coming back at that point, right? If they get low enough. So I feel like it's made me very good at that. I do feel like it's built a community for, like, me and my small little community, my guys, my coalition. Mm-hmm. I love it so much. I can't lie. Like, it's really one of my favorite things to do. And it's made me, like, I don't even know the word, but it's just like, it's one of those things, like, it's just very fulfilling for me, bro. Like, I put wrestling on top of that list at number one, and right under wrestling, I would put live stream. And I think it's such a unique experience. It's so hard to explain how unique that experience is.
There's, like, gratification out of
to an extent,
something outside the ring, because, like, oftentimes we're seeing wrestlers like the Adam Coles, the Evil Unos, and the Xavier Woods doing side stuff, because, like, they are gamers before they became wrestlers. I mean, they have their own niche to carve out their audience, or if they're part of, like, AEW, WWE, they can carve out that niche to those wrestlers who happen to like video games. And now we've seen the up down downs in the AEW games who are carving that niche out of wrestlers to, hey, they play video games too.
Yeah.
Are you going to carve that out on your side? It's like, hey, I can stream these things, and I can still do this on my spare time.
I think, I don't think it's something that I'll ever, like, let go. Maybe I won't be consistent with it, right? I don't even game. I just talk shit. Like, I don't even game, bro. I just be on there. I just be on there, bro. And it's fun. But the thing is, bro, when you do that and you get that experience, bro, it's really the chat. The chat's way funnier than I could ever be, right? Like, they're funnier than me.
Yeah.
And they have their own little, like, running jokes. So it's like, it's fun for everybody. They can be involved in it. It's fun for me. It's fun for them. So I think it's something that I'm going to continue to do. And I'm going to continue to try to create content in all ways that I can, because I'm an entertainer.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I do have a match which I wanted to bring up too.
Okay.
With Inspire, you faced Dustin Wynn.
Yes.
And someone that you faced that isn't in APW. How similar is it and how different is it to work with someone who's with another promotion like New Texas?
I will say this, that there's a similarity, and this is in like a couple of the people that I've wrestled. The similarity is in like kind of mindset, you know what I mean? In the sense that like, you know, hate to pull the curtain back, right? But sometimes you get in there with somebody and, you know, it's here and there, and it's here, then it's there, then it's here, then it's there, and it's here, and it's there. And there's no real like rhyme or rhythm to it versus like, all right, bro, like this the story that we gonna tell. We gonna go here, we gonna go there, we gonna go there. And then, you know what I mean? Because we can just get in there and work. Like, obviously I'm dumb. I'm like very much, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm very much paraphrasing, right? What that experience is like. But like, I would say it's similar in that it's a little different. It wasn't different for me because of like where they're trained. It was different for me just on like the mindset because it was my first match. So obviously like my nerves are up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like my nerves are up a little bit. I'm overthinking some shit because like that's just, you know, that's just where I was. But Dustin Wynn, bro, that fucker's great, bro. He's awesome in all ways. He's great in the ring. Like I'd love to work that man any day of my life.
And you sense the chemistry with Dustin too, because once you mentioned it, like, once you see something and it's like, oh, okay, I can roll with what Dustin wants to do, and see how the match goes, basically.
Yeah. I did kind of feel like that. Like, excuse me, I feel like probably now we could have like I'm not gonna lie, we could have a banger, right? Like where I'm at now. I
enjoyed it though. For that moment, it was pretty nice.
Oh yeah. And whenever he gets back, I'm ready for him, bro, because I feel like we could put on a banger. There's so many, like, I'm still, like, today's a year for me. I'm still new in, and there's so many people where I feel like, man, I can't wait to wrestle. There's so many people I've never wrestled, and I know, oh, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, we could tear the house down. Like, what are we doing?
We're in 2025, and I always ask this to someone who's, like, in their stage of their wrestling career. What keeps you going in this year of wrestling? What motivates you? What keeps you hungry to really be the best? Wrestler that you're giving your all to the fans and to the people who you're working with in your career.
I would say, like, for me, a lot of it has to do with the fact that like the journey can't even be close to over, right? Like. We haven't hit none of like the big time goals. I'm fresh in, bro. You know what I mean? Like we ain't hit none of the big time goals. I haven't left the state yet. We haven't left the country yet. Like there's so many things that I'm still pushing to do. All the goals along the way are appreciated and celebrated. Like I'm gonna celebrate my first title. I'm gonna celebrate my first match. I'm gonna celebrate my graduation. I'm gonna celebrate the year anniversary of my first match. Like we gonna celebrate what we went through. But at the same time, like we still got to get to where we was going.
Man, I was going to say graduation. Thank you for bringing that up because now we're going to ask that. So with the graduate, I was there. And again, I'll say it on the interview too. I hit the bell in the wrong spot. I got called out, so I apologize on your behalf.
That did happen.
But anyways, coming into that graduation match, and we're going to dig deep because it was kind of short when we talked about it on the mini episode. Mentally. Coming and when you heard the other guy start banging the apron and getting yourself ready, what was your state of mind when you heard those bangs on the apron?
You know, to be honest with you, I'm walking out that door. I hear the banging. I walk out that door and I go, damn, bro. It's about that time. Like, can't turn around now, right? Like. Damn, bro.
Oh,
like,
it's a point of no return.
We gotta go through the, you know what I mean? We gotta go through it. But at the same time, bro, like that's one of the things that I'm most proud of in my entire life. Like that graduation gauntlet is a very proud moment for me. Because like of where you're at mentally. Even like when you're in there and they're banging on the ring and it's like, damn, I can't let everybody in this room down. You know what I mean? Like over a feeling like obviously like you know, you're gassed or whatever and mentally it's difficult, but it's like it's not. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, and you know what I mean. Like I'm not gonna feel like this forever. I'm gonna just let everybody down. Like I can't, bro. I can't. You know, I can't.
I was thinking about it where, and you mentioned it earlier, where how has that family dynamic with AEPW? How is that different from you day one? And you're in this graduation match. How did that family dynamic suddenly become real? Well, it's real from day one, but when has that become the realest that you've experienced in your career?
Sometimes, matter of fact, I'll get a little deep with you. I'll get a little honest with you, right? Because sometimes you train with certain people, and you feel like, gee, why is this guy such an asshole, bro? Like, what's up with this? What's good with this guy? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times when you're training, and certain people can do certain things, certain people can say certain things that make you feel some type of way. But at the end of the day, bro, a lot of those people I've realized, like, damn, bro, this dude really believed in me, and he was just trying to push me, bro. Like, damn, bro, like this dude really saw something in me, bro, and he was really like on the low trying to be there for me. And like, I feel like that plays into the family dynamic because this is a physical sport and tough love is real. So,
right.
And that plays a lot into what I was talking about. Like, damn, I can't let everybody down, bro.
You saw you saw the expectations from everybody because they'll be working with you within those 51. It was 51 minutes. Within those 51 minutes, you're like, I worked with you for this whole year. I'm like, I don't want to bring them down in any way because they've been with you on the trenches. During training for sure.
Yes, a lot of those guys that were there from day one: Ethan Hunter, Kirby Knox, Luke Cameron, Jay Sky, Houston Hendricks, like a lot of guys that were there, Ollie Summers that were there when I started. And it's like, damn, bro, like I'm gonna be the guy that quit, right? Like, because like, you know what I mean? I feel like I was walking in and I feel like if there's anybody that they feel is not gonna quit, it's gonna be me, right? Like, surely, you know, I was like, I can't make them wrong, you know what I mean? So it was a big deal to me. Like, it was a big deal to me. It was more so. It wasn't even so much for me. It was more so for, like, you know what I mean, anybody that like believed in me and anybody that really gave me the time of day, like since day one, like I got to prove every single one of them right.
Yeah. And since we were recording this on the day of your anniversary, and this will be a one word statement.
All
if
right.
you can describe your year in one word, what would that be? And if you can, if you want to expand on it, and how did you lead up with that one word statement in your career?
I would say if I had to describe this last year in like one word, it would really just, it would be learning, bro. Like school, like it would, like, that's really like it was a learning experience everywhere that I went. I'm so fresh and I'm so new that I don't even want to be the guy that flexes like, I'm so humble, guys. I can't go anywhere and feel like I know everything. Like, I've never been anywhere and I felt like I knew something. Yeah. Like I never went somewhere and felt like, yeah, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, yeah, I know what's going on. Like, I got it. I don't even if I was arrogant as shit, I don't even have like the luxury of doing that because I'm only a year in. So it's just been like learning experiences in every city that I've been to, every place that I've been, every place that I've worked, everybody that I've spoken to, I learned something from in some way. So that's really been my 2024.
And you mentioned going out into different cities. Like, I know it's a year and you can go as lofty as a location. What would be the ideal location for you to work with? And you can throw in the major promotions too. Like, what are you striving to be at the top of your game?
Are we talking about like 2025 or just in general? Like, where do I want to be?
Yeah, pretty much. And like anything in the future. Cause like I was thinking about it as you were talking about it and talking about like every location that you've worked with, and you can be it's carte blanche. And in the future, what are some really high goals that you would like to do? It could happen next year for all we know.
Sure.
You could be all elite for all we know, but like,
sure.
What were some of those big ticket goals that you have in mind?
My big ticket goals, I want to work in Mexico. I really want to wrestle in Mexico.
Okay.
I really want to wrestle in Japan. Like, those are like my two major things that I really, really want to do. I have a lot of love and respect for those styles in wrestling. I really, really want to wrestle in Mexico. Another thing that I want to do is I want to wrestle in California because I got a lot of family out there. I spent a couple years of my life in California. I love California. there's certain states in like the U.S. that I want to go to, but like my big major thing is I really, really want to wrestle in Mexico and in Japan, and not on like not on no like, hey guys, I did it, I went once. Like, nah, bro, I want to be in New Japan. Like, I want to be in CMLL. Like, that's where I want to go. You know what I'm saying?
Like, cause you're seeing like a lot of the guys who are like, CMLL. I mean, we got to see a lot of the wrestlers who are showing up in the States with the CMLL flag, and you're like, I want to be that. I want to hit up CMLL down the line. You see like AEW's right there. It's like, all right, I have this. I have AEW down there, or I have WWE, or I have Impact. So like a year, it can go so many ways in your career. So that's why it's kind of nice talking about that with you.
Oh yeah.
So, I guess like, and I'm gonna talk about it on a younger version of you, and I'm gonna end our conversation with this. Oh, first of all, thank you, Travis, for having you on the season premiere.
This was like, if you could have ever called anybody, like, who do I need for my season premiere? Let me get Travis Cudi. Like that just makes sense, dog. That actually makes a lot of sense. You might actually you might be the smartest person in the world.
So, but I'll end our conversation with this too. And if you were in the same room as an adolescent version of you, if you're in the same room with him, no one else around, and there's two chairs, you're sitting him face to face, what would you like to talk to him about?
I'd ask him what he want to know. I feel like younger me would be very happy with like that I started this journey. I feel like that's something that I would talk to younger me about. Let me think, because like I've whenever you think of like what your younger self would think of you, you think like,
you don't have to. I mean, just
I think of honestly, like if I think of like me at 30, I would think of questions I asked me at 30. I never think of like what I would talk to 10-year-old me about. But I do feel like 10-year-old me would be very happy that I at least started this journey and I'm doing what I'm doing now. I feel like I would just talk to young me about wrestling. That's all I cared about when I was younger. We would just talk about wrestling, bro. For real, we talk about wrestling and basketball. That's it. He'd be like, "Is LeBron still to go?" I'd be like, "Yeah." He'd be like, "Damn." I'd be like, "Yeah."
And like, what were some things that you want to tell him? Like, of course, no journey's perfect, and
I would definitely tell him to listen more. Oh, I'd definitely tell him to listen more. I'm not gonna lie, there was some great advice that I didn't and still don't listen to at all. I would definitely tell younger me to listen more, 100%.
There you go. Awesome. So I have nothing left to give. You have the floor. Where can we find you on socials or wherever you're going to promote out there?
Travis Cudi _ on Instagram. Champagne Buster on Twitch. Travis Cudi on Facebook. If you have children and you're a single mother, find me on Tinder. Find me on Hinge. I'll be on Bumble and shit. I'm not playing. I'm laughing
because it might be true. Okay,
I'm for real. I won't be the father that stepped up, but I will be the man that put it down on my soul. Find me on Tinder. Find me on Hinge. That's my thing.
All right, awesome. But I want to say, I want to give you your flowers on your year in wrestling. It's never brother. An easy road to be in wrestling, and it takes a lot of metal to be lasting this long. So hopefully you'll get more time to wrestle this year. So, and the year's still young. I mean, the year's still young, and there's so much opportunities that you're going to get. Because one thing, and I'm going to end the interview here, is you always have the determination to get stuff done, and a lot of the stuff that you're doing now is a lot of your work is finally paying off down the line. So it's a lot to get there, but I'm sure 2025 will always have a special place because it'll be 2 years. We might do an interview in 2 years, see how that perspective works. So I wanted to see, just keep on keeping on though.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate you for your time. I appreciate it so much.
There you go. Awesome. So we'll end our conversation here. We will be back on the next episode, and we are on to the next one. Bye.